A tiny baby crawled toward a giant grate. Dane standing in the middle of the room. His parents froze in terror, unable to move. The massive dog lowered his head. And what happened next left everyone speechless. Before you watch, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss another touching story like this one. And write in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is there. Zeus, stay. Lisa called sharply as her daughter Emma began crawling across the living room floor. The great Dane stood like a statue in the center of the room. His massive frame casting a shadow across the carpet. At just under 3 feet tall at the shoulder, Zeus was enormous. Even by Great Dane standards. His coat was a striking blue-gray, sleek and powerful, catching the afternoon light streaming through the windows. His chest was broad, his legs long and muscular. When he stood on his hind legs, his paws could rest on Lisa's shoulders with ease, his head towering above hers. Emma was barely 10 months old, wearing a soft blue onesie dotted with tiny stars. Her chubby legs moved awkwardly as she crawled, her round eyes fixed on the giant dog before her with pure fascination. Her mouth hung open slightly, making soft sounds of wonder. Lisa, maybe we should. Mark started from the couch. His body tensing, his coffee mug forgotten in his hand. I know, Lisa interrupted, her voice tight, strained. I see it. They'd had Zeus for 5 years. Long before Emma was born. He'd always been gentle, patient, the kind of dog who let neighborhood kids climb on him without complaint. But this was different. This was their baby. And no matter how much they trusted Zeus, watching their 10-month-old daughter crawl toward a 140 pounds animal made every parental instinct scream danger. Emma made a happy sound, her tiny hand slapping the hardwood floor as she pushed forward. Her face was lit up with determination and joy. She was getting closer. 5T4T. Emma, no, Lisa said, her voice rising slightly as she moved to stand. Come to Mama. Come here, baby. But Emma wasn't interested in Mama. Her eyes stayed locked on Zeus, her mouth forming sounds that might have been attempts at the dog's name. Zuzu. Zuzu. Zeus's ears shifted forward. Those tall, pointed, Great Dane ears that made him look perpetually alert. His dark eyes tracked the baby's movement with intense focus. His head tilting slightly to one side. He didn't move otherwise. Didn't step back, didn't approach, just watched. With an intensity that made Lisa's stomach clench. 3 feet Mark stood up quickly, setting his mug down with a sharp click. Lisa, I don't like this. I really don't like this. Neither do I. She admitted, her hands clasped together so tightly her knuckles turned white. Her heart was hammering against her ribs. But if we grab her too fast, if we move suddenly, we might startle Zeus. And I don't know what he'd do if he was startled. And if we don't, Mark's voice rose. What if he doesn't understand? He won't, Lisa said, her voice wavering. He's never been aggressive. There's a first time for everything. Mark said quietly. 2 feet. Zeus shifted his weight from one front paw to the other, a slow, deliberate movement. Then he yawned long and exaggerated, revealing every tooth in his massive jaw. Lisa recognized it. He was nervous, trying to calm himself. Emma reached out with one small hand, her fingers opening and closing like she was trying to grasp something just out of reach. Her face lit up with a smile. So pure, so completely trusting. It made Lisa's chest ache with a mixture of love and terror. Zeus, Lisa said softly, trying to keep her voice calm. Non-threatening. Good boy. Stay. Just stay. Okay. Good boy. Zeus's tail moved just slightly. Not a wag, more like an acknowledgement. His eyes stayed fixed on Emma. 1 foot. Emma was right there now, right at Zeus's front legs. The baby looked so impossibly small next to the massive dog. Emma's entire body was smaller than just Zeus's chest. One paw was bigger than Emma's whole head. Lisa's breath caught in her throat. Mark, I see it. Mark said tightly. He took a step forward, his hands out, ready to grab Emma if anything went wrong. Then Emma did something that stopped both parents' hearts. She sat back on her little bottom, looked up at Zeus's enormous face towering above her, spread her arms wide, and said one clear word. Hug. Oh, God. Lisa breathed, her hand flying to her mouth. Mark. But Mark was already moving, his hand reaching out. Emma, buddy, no. Come here. Come to Daddy. Emma didn't listen. She leaned forward, her tiny body tipping as she tried to wrap her arms around Zeus's massive front leg. She couldn't reach far. Her whole arm span barely made it halfway around the thick, muscular limb. Zeus's entire body went rigid. Every muscle tensed from his powerful shoulders down to his hindquarters. His head lowered slowly, incrementally. His eyes locked on the baby with an intensity that made Lisa's blood run cold. The dog's breathing changed. Became deeper, more focused. For 3 seconds, maybe 4, nothing happened. The room felt like it was holding its breath. The afternoon sunlight streaming through the windows seemed to freeze in place. Even the dust motes hanging in the air appeared suspended. Lisa's vision blurred with tears of panic. Mark, do something, she whispered, her voice breaking. Please. Do something. Mark's hand trembled as he reached forward, his fingers outstretched toward Emma. But then Zeus moved so slowly it seemed unreal, like watching something underwater. His massive head began to lower, inch by careful inch. His front legs played out to the sides, elbows bent, chest dropping. That distinctive Great Dane bull he used with small dogs at the park, making himself less intimidating. His jaw was so close to Emma's face now. Close enough that one snap could Lisa couldn't finish the thought. Her mind recoiled from it. One wrong move, one instinct, one moment of forgetting his own strength. That's all it would take. Emma's tiny fingers stretched up toward the enormous head descending toward her. Completely unafraid, completely trusting. Her face was still lit with that pure, innocent smile. "Please, Lisa," whispered, tears streaming down her face. Now, hot and fast. "Please, Zeus, please. Be gentle. Please." Zeus's eyes never left the baby. His body continued to sink lower, lower. His chest touched the floor first, his front legs splaying out to the sides, then his belly pressed against the hardwood. He was making himself smaller, compacting his massive frame down, down, down. His head kept lowering with that same careful slowness. Lisa watched, frozen in place, as Zeus's great jaw came closer to Emma's outstretched hands. She could see the dog's teeth, could see the power in that jaw, could imagine. No. She forced the thought away. The distance closed. 6 in. 4 in, 2 inches. Mark's hand was almost on Emma now, ready to grab her if anything went wrong. His own heart was pounding so hard he could hear it in his ears. Lisa couldn't breathe, couldn't move. Could only watch as that enormous head came down, down, down toward her baby's outstretched arms. Zeus pressed himself down as far as his enormous body could go, making himself as small as something that massive could ever be, until finally, his great head came to rest gently, perfectly, within the circle of Emma's tiny, outstretched arms. For one frozen moment, nobody breathed. The world stopped. Then Emma squealed. A pure sound of joy that shattered the tension like glass exploding. She buried her face into Zeus's smooth coat, her small hands disappearing against the dog's neck, her little body shaking with giggles. Lisa collapsed back onto the couch, her hand over her heart, gasping for air. She didn't know she'd been holding. Her whole body was trembling. "Oh my God." She breathed. "Oh my God." Mark's legs nearly gave out beneath him. He sat down hard on the coffee table, his head in his hands. "Did you see that?" he whispered, his voice shaking. "Did you see what he did?" Lisa couldn't speak. For a moment. She could only nod, tears pouring down her face. Not tears of fear anymore. Tears of something else. Entirely. He understood, she managed to say, her voice cracking. He made himself small for her. Zeus remained motionless in Emma's embrace. Those large, dark, soulful Great Dane eyes. Soft now, the kind that always looked slightly sad, even when he was content. "He chose her," Mark said, his voice thick with emotion. He looked up at Lisa, his eyes red. "He actually chose to protect her, to be gentle with her." Lisa wiped her face with trembling hands, trying to compose herself. For the first time in several minutes, she could breathe normally again. Her heart was still racing, but the panic was fading, replaced by something warmer. Emma shifted suddenly, her small body squirming as she grabbed a handful of the loose skin on Zeus's neck and pulled, fascinated by how it moved. Zeus's eyes flickered briefly, but he didn't move. Then Emma's mouth opened, clearly planning to taste Zeus's ear. Zeus simply tilted his head away gently, redirecting Emma's attention to his shoulder instead. Smooth, practiced. Deliberate. Emma's weight was pulling awkwardly now. Her balance unsteady, and she was starting to tip sideways toward the hard floor. Lisa started to lunge forward. But Zeus moved first. With incredible care and awareness, the great DNE shifted his massive weight, angling his body so that Emma's fall was cushioned against his side instead of toward the floor. Zeus's huge paw came forward and rested across Emma's legs, holding her steady. Then he did that thing, the great DNE. Lean, pressing his weight gently into Emma, not enough to topple the baby, but enough that Emma was cradled, supported. The movement was so deliberate, so obviously intentional that Lisa felt a fresh wave of tears threatening. "Did you see that?" she asked Mark, her voice barely above a whisper. "He's doing his lean, but he modified it. He knows Emma can't support his full weight. That was an instinct. That was thought. He's thinking about how to keep Emma safe." Emma patted the massive paw. "Big, big," she said, giggling. Mark let out a shaky laugh. "I'm sorry for doubting Zeus. You were being a parent," Lisa said. "We both were." Zeus's brow was slightly furrowed. In that way that made Great Danes look perpetually concerned, but his expression was calm, satisfied. Emma yawned suddenly. Her face pressed into Zeus's fur, and within moments her breathing slowed into sleep. Zeus stayed perfectly still, but his eyes opened wider, alert. His ears swiveled, tracking sounds. Lisa knelt beside them. Zeus's gaze shifted from Emma to the windows to the hallway and then back. Watchful. "You're standing guard," she whispered. Mark knelt beside her. "He's Emma's protector." From that day forward, nobody in that house ever doubted who Emma's guardian was. Did you enjoy this story? If you were Lisa in that exact moment, watching your baby reach out to hug that massive dog, would you have trusted the dog and let it happen? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments below. If you like the story, subscribe to this channel and leave a like. Thanks so much for listening. See you in the next video. Have a great day.